Hello everyone and welcome to battle number 107 of the All Generation Tournament of Battle of the Beasts. I'm Adam and today we are doing we're in the final 10 fights of round 2. And starting off we have an interesting matchup, one which Lucas is confident on knowing the winner on. And I personally on the fence about it because was the matchup may seem obvious when you first see it. On a scientific standpoint, it's actually a relatively even battle. So yeah, with that, I think this is a very even matchup. But anyway, let's get into it. Representing Series 18, the Trial of Heroes, the last beast standing of that series, and the killer of Doomskull, the King of Fear, back in round 1, we have Karixa, the Diamond Warrior, and her opponent, representing Series 21, the Sorcerer's Revenge, the killer of Spyros the Ghost Phoenix back in round 1, and a top 14, no, top 15 finished beast in the New Generation tournament. We have Skrar the Night Scavenger. Now, Karixa versus Skrar, in my opinion, is actually quite a good matchup for both of these beasts, because in the New Generation tournament, Karixa got killed in round 1 by Wardock, and Skrar has proven himself to be one of the hottest beasts to have been in this tournament. So for Skrar to go against a beast made of diamond, Lucas is under the impression that, okay, it doesn't matter how hot Skrar is, Skrar can't melt diamond. Well, only the battle will determine how that's going to happen, what's going to happen here. But with that, let's get to the stats. We'll start off with Karixa. This beast of pure diamond was the last to be faced during the Trial of Heroes, and Tom was very fortunate that by this point on the quest, the warrior girl Amelia had gone from foe to friend. Otherwise, they might both have perished. The fact is, one of Carixa's arms ends in a broadsword which is fearsomely sharp. Age 281, power 258, magic level 187, fright factor 83, size 159. Powers and abilities: Diamond Physiology, Enhanced Strength, Enhanced Durability, Solar Absorption and Heat Vision, Limited Camouflage, and Natural Weaponry and Weapon Mastery, as well as Resurrection, which is banned from the tournament. Equipment is the Diamond Shield, weaknesses: Destructible Body, and Sunlight Requirements to do the laser beam thing. Okay. And now moving on to Skrar. Let me just get to that page in the Bible. There we are. Skrar is a hulking, muscular beast whose body is coated in spiky white fur that can burst into scorchingly hot purple flames. If that isn't terrifying enough, his smooth, scaled, serpent-like tail can knock his foes unconscious. The fact is, the heat Skrar gave off during his battle with Tom caused a whole lake to evaporate instantly. Being honest, it was instantly isn't in that book. Kind of a clear impression. This is instantly because, water beats fire, but because of how hot Skrar is, it evaporated when he touched it. Age 429, power 251, magic level 176, fright factor 93, size 292. Powers and abilities are Ignition, Natural Weaponry, and Enhanced Durability. Weaknesses: Limited Ignition. So basically, if he exceeds too much heat, he will need to rest, and that tires him out, causing him to be very vulnerable. But with that, the stats are done. Battlefield will do the rocky terrain in, let's give us some sunlight. And with that, let the battle begin. So as the chamber doors open, Skrar immediately bounds out to the centre of the arena, roars into the arena to intimidate any opponent that just dares to face him. Karixa sees Skrar's purple flames right in front of him, right in front of her, and in a second, the flames are gone, almost like the flames were used as an intimidation factor. Karixa, however, is unnerved, and whilst making her way out of her chamber, she drags her sword along the floor, causing sparks to fly. Skrar sees that and sees the silhouette of Karixa making her way out into the chamber. Making her way out of the chamber, sorry. As Karixa steps into the sunlight, the sunlight reflects off of Karixa's whole body, causing Skrar to get a bit blinded but remain focused on all this. Karixa just stands there waiting for Skrar to make the first move, while Skrar is also waiting for Karixa to make the first move. In that moment, Karixa has absorbed sunlight and shoots a laser beam directly towards Skrar. Skrar sees that coming and dives out of the way as the solar beam hits the wall right behind Skrar, leaving a black scorch mark on the wall. Skrar looks back at Karixa and sees that Karixa's charging back up another one. Skrar bounds up towards Karixa, dodges another sunbeam which comes his way, and ready to just start trying to smash into Karixa. Karixa just at first takes it. She lifts up her arm with the shield on it and just knocks Skrar aside. Skrar a bit irritated by that, seeming that looking at the fact that Karixa doesn't seem to be moving much. Skrar decides to charge up towards Karixa again. Karixa goes to lift her sword and goes to slash. Skrar stops, turns around, lets the sword swing by. He swings his tail, knocking Karixa to the side. Karixa gets back up, and right when she does, she has Skrar push her back down again, pinning Karixa down to the ground. Karixa goes to absorb some heat, sunlight, ready to shoot at Skrar. Meanwhile, Skrar ignites himself, causing purple flames to appear all over his body. Karixa is concerned about this, seems unfazed about this, sorry. And in the snap of the fingers, the flames around Skrar just ignite into a giant ball of purple flame that seems to burn for a multitude of minutes and hours and all that. Well, seconds for a good solid 10 seconds. Skrar on top of Karixa ignites into a giant ball of flame. Karixa loses the concentration from the sunlight and loses the beam entirely, and Karixa can't seem to do anything. When the flames disappear, Skrar gets off of Karixa and makes his way to the other side of the arena just to rest, and he lies down. The spectators can't seem to see this, though, for some reason. Karixa gets back up, looks up to the sky, and sees a giant cloud of smoke covering her sunlight. Karixa realized that whilst the temperature was hot for her, she can't really see the sunlight either, so she can't really, use the sunbeam. So she goes hunting around the arena looking for Skrar. In the cloud of smoke, she can't seem to see Skrar as his flames are extinguished. Karixa looks herself up and down just to make sure she's fine. She seems to be fully intact, but she sees some droplets of liquid diamond going down herself. Almost like the temperature was hot, but not hot enough to evaporate her instantly. But she can see that she's starting to melt. Karixa is concerned about this because no one has actually been able to have such a hot temperature to melt someone like her before. Karixa hurries her search to try and find Skrar. Can't seem to find anything, and as the smoke is about to clear, Skrar is able to wake up from his slumber and be able to go on the offense again. Skrar sees Karixa's body starting to show, and he silently sneaks around the perimeter of the arena. When he's behind Karixa, he charges up towards her. Karixa hears this, turns around, and goes to swing her sword at him, only for Skrar to stop, dodge the sword again, and swing his tail around, knocking Karixa to the side more forcefully this time. And Karixa actually seems to have felt the pain as she lets out a roar in agony, almost like her material's gotten a bit softer. Skrar noticed this and then pins Karixa down, digging his claws into her. Karixa is refusing to let out any more signs of pain. Skrar ignites himself, but only around his paws, causing where his paws are on Karixa's shoulders and her legs starting to heat up. Karixa can feel her body starting to rapidly melt around that area. And as Karixa lets out that tiny glimmer of fear in her eyes, Skrar roars in her face and opens his mouth as wide as it can go, bites it over Karixa's head, brings it down, doesn't penetrate the diamond, but because of how soft the diamond is now, he's able to twist and pull as hard as he can, trying to pull Karixa's head off. However, the diamond may be soft, but it's still not firm. Still not soft enough to break. Sorry. Skrar, getting frustrated by this, ignites entirely in flame, so that's out another ball of flame. And whilst he's doing that, he continues to give it a good hard pull, pulling as hard as he can. And after the third attempt of these dogs, okay. And whilst the ball of flame has completely engulfed them, after one last final pull, right before the flames exceed or disappear, he gives it one last final tug, and Karixa's head comes off completely. And Skrar spits out the head, turns around only to see that the head is starting to melt from the intense temperature, and he looks down at Karixa's body to see that that's also melting. Skrar, using what little energy he has left, makes his way back to his chamber, satisfied with the victory, knowing that this was his toughest battle yet, knowing that it's finally over. So that Skrar's won, Karixa's lost. If you think Karixa should have won, please in comments below why you think that. However, my word's final and Skrar's moving on to the next round. Yeah. So Lucas was under the impression Karixa was going to win. And whilst I do understand that Karixa's made of diamond and diamond's the toughest material on Earth, the thing is though, I gave Skrar the victory because whilst, yes, it takes a temperature of over 100,000 degrees to melt diamond. Yeah, to melt diamond into a liquid form, it takes a temperature of over 100,000 degrees. But Skrar's most impressive feat is being able to evaporate a lake instantly. And when the word instantly is used, which is used in the book, in his book, that can imply an infinite amount of energy that has been exuded in that split second. And as Skrar is able to use that at his will with the cost of a very, very bad weakness, that temperature may not be enough to evaporate Karixa, which is not what I did. But it has to have been enough to start melting Karixa at least. And that is why Karixa started melting, because scientifically, if the word instantly to evaporate a lake is used, infinite energy, and if infinite energy can be infinite, really, she should have evaporated. But no, I gave her some slack. For once, I gave a beast I dislike some slack. And it started the melting process. That's fine. But when the smoke covered up the arena, she can't use her main ability. And considering Skrar got away to another side of the arena to, rest, Karixa couldn't find him. So I may have manipulated it in a way that Skrar won or narrated it in a way. But being honest, I'm not going to say, hey, I was wrong with this decision, because scientifically, it's right. Because, yeah, I gave Karixa some slack. She didn't evaporate. She just started melting. It's not like she fully melted either. Yeah, when Karixa's head came off, yes. Well, she started melting, so she was softer. And then when another ball of flame went off, she got even softer, making it easier for Skrar to take her head off. I can't really find a plot hole to why Karixa should not have, melted or lost. But I do understand where some people come from saying of how Karixa's made a diamond, shouldn't have to lose. But then again, Karixa did lose to Wardock in round 1. She maybe made a diamond, but does that actually mean she's as powerful as Diamond? I'll let you be the judge of that. I'm not trying to put some slander on Wardock either, but come on, like, it just doesn't add up. This battle was going to be a tough one for me to do, because I knew, yes, obviously people that I know Lucas will probably accuse me of bias, because I like this one, don't like this one. I know I'm probably going to get some people disagreeing with me here, but scientifically, Skrar does win. Plus, with the agility that Skrar has, plus the tail being able to use as a bat just to knock Karixa aside, I honestly see Skrar winning more than Karixa. Not to mention with Karixa's past battles, didn't exactly does it. Come on, it makes Karixa seem like she's quite easy to beat. But that's just how I see it, and that's what happened. So, if you're upset, I'm sorry, but Series 18 is out of the tournament for good now, and we move on to round 3 with Skrar in this lineup. But with that, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press that little notification bell down the corner below, and I'll see you next time.